guys, welcome to another edition of Caking All the Way. My name is Ladio Gujimi and I'm the creative director and founder of Dainty Affairs Bakery. Today is a very special day because I have two amazing ladies I have known, should I say, half of my life?
Exactly.
Actually, you can say that, yes.
Because I met them while we were still undergraduates at Unilag. Anyway, fast forward to over 20 years and we all thread the same line. We're all bakers. And I decided to invite them to this edition today just to, pick their brain, share their thoughts and their journey with us. And so I will start with Fumi Ajayi and Peju Uboma. Thank you guys for coming, by the way.
Thanks for having us.
So I would allow Fumi to do like a brief introduction. What's the name of your bakery, when you started, and what your specialty is?
Okay, the name of my business is Anna's Sweet Treats. I started about 8 years ago, and before then I was in banking thinking about, okay, what next? Am I going to do this for the rest of my life? So it started as a hobby.
Right.
I started baking cupcakes actually. The
Really?
very first class I went
Wow.
for was a cupcake class. I just, cupcakes were the thing then, and I just loved the way they looked. So I started with cupcakes, and then I used to, first of all, give them to my colleagues, and then I started selling them, of course.
Wow.
And then I made my son's first birthday cake.
Right.
So from there, the business just took off.
Amazing.
Yes. So,
Amazing.
what we do is mostly custom cake.
Right.
And other sweet treats, cookies, cupcakes, of course. My first love.
Amazing, amazing. Peju, how about you?
I'm the head chef and founder at Iluv Desserts. I started 13 years ago.
Wow.
13.
Wow.
Yes, August 2000.
You can remember the exact
Seven.
date.
Yes.
That's amazing.
August 2007, that's when I started. It was just before my birthday, so
Right.
I remember. We make the most amazing tasting desserts you've ever eaten, and we're based in Lagos, in Ikoyi. I started desserts. When I got married, I didn't want to do the commute, and my husband said, you can't work in any financial institution. What do you want to do? What's next for you? And I've always loved watching Food Network. I mean, how do you explain someone converting sugar and butter
Right.
and flour, and you have something amazing? So I think that's where the interest started from, and the rest, they say, is history.
Amazing.
All I know now is flour, butter, and sugar.
That's amazing. Hearing you guys speak and talk about how you started, for me, I started my career as a staff at Virgin Atlantic Airways. I was a ground staff. I wasn't flying. I was afraid to fly. But I remember back then, I would bake at home, bring it to the office, share with my colleagues, and then the word got out there, we have a colleague that bakes cakes. So I ended up, baking cakes for my friends who were having their birthdays, or even...
Including my wedding
Yes,
cake.
including your wedding cake, I remember.
She did my wedding
Yes,
cake and my
yes.
makeup. I remember that. Gosh, we've come very far.
Yes, we have. We
Wedding
have.
cakes, I remember.
We have. It's just amazing how we all start from somewhere and then we grow, and we just never know where we will, or who we will
When life
become.
takes
Yes.
us, yes.
So I think it's so interesting that we always remember where we've come from.
Yeah.
So I think one thing that is important about a cake business is the name. Can you share with me why you chose that name, Anna's Sweet Treats?
Okay, there was a book, a dessert book that I saw, and it had gorgeous treats, and I just love that name. But, I was discussing with my husband, and he was like, gorgeous treats, that doesn't really sound nice.
Right.
And then my name is Anna, my middle name.
Right.
So we just decided to replace the gorgeous with Anna's, and then, of course, sweet treats. Because back then, remember, I was in banking, I didn't have time to do the big cakes.
Right.
So I wanted to just focus on, the smaller treats,
Right.
big treats. So that's where the name came from.
Lovely. Lovely. How about you, Peju?
To be honest, I don't remember. But I remember on a Thursday night, it was that memorable. I just sat down and I heard I love desserts. It's crazy. I can't. When I said I just heard I love desserts to my husband, he looked at me and was like, why are you being weird? I said, because I looked
divine.
for a name for a while, but I couldn't come up with anything. In fact, I remember sending several names to CAC and they rejected all of them.
Right.
And I remember it was a Thursday night because I remember what I was watching on TV. And I heard I love desserts. I was like, what kind of name is that? I said, I just heard I love desserts, and he looked at me and was like, are you okay? What's that?
And you know what I find amazing about your name? that the love is not spelled L-O-V-E. Why did you choose L-U-V?
I wanted something different.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't the days where you could go on Google and search stuff. I just said, look, let it be different. Let it not be the regular
Right.
LOVE. So,
Right. Amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we all do cakes. We work with flour, sugar, eggs, and all whatnot. Can you tell me, Pejum, I mean, because I know you trained with, I've forgotten the name of where you trained, but you first of all trained to know everything. But after a while, you just streamlined and you just focus on desserts.
Yes.
So I can't come to you now and say, I want a birthday cake for my
don't do birthday
husband.
cakes. No, she does all the birthday cakes.
I know. We do that too. So, I mean, can you just, at what point did you decide that, oh, I'm not doing, full cakes anymore, it's just going to be this? Because that was very daring. It wasn't very popular then.
Yes.
So what made you think like that, and how did you, I mean, transition into like a cake person into a dessertier?
First things first, I remember watching on Food Network, maybe, I think immediately after school I went to America and I stayed, and every night out of boredom I'll sit down on Food Network and watch Emerald Lagasse do stuff.
Right.
It's like, what is this guy doing? How is he doing? How is he doing this? You look at Martha Stewart, just flour and sugar and sharp. It's become,
magic.
Magic, and I'm like, oh, these guys are, well, that piqued my interest. When I came back to Nigeria, because I found I couldn't live abroad, when I moved back to Nigeria, I wanted to learn, but there was no one teaching desserts at the time because desserts weren't popular. So I remember my husband suggesting that, why don't you just go and learn everything first, and then you can now use whatever knowledge, read books. There was no YouTube.
So that's what happened.
YouTube didn't help. And I will forever be grateful to Mrs. Abayomi. She owned Audrey's Cakes and Bakes. Oh, God sent her into my life at that season to help me. So I went there for 6 weeks. And she even said, you know what, when the class was over, she told me to come back and just do like an internship with her until I was ready. So I basically learned pastries, cakes, breads. But I knew those were not the things I wanted to do. So I went on the internet and I decided to look for what I really... The week we did desserts at Audrey's Bakes and Cakes, I didn't want to go home.
Oh, bless.
It was amazing. I didn't want to go. Other ones, I was just like, Woje Malole. I mean, let me just go home. But when it came to desserts, I didn't want to leave. And then I did research. I couldn't find anywhere I could do like a short course because I was newly married. I didn't want to I couldn't stay for too long. And then I discovered Gastronomicum in the south of France.
Right.
I was very happy it was in the south of France because the location was amazing. And from there, I went there, I learned. But one thing I did learn from that place, it was too short a time to learn everything I wanted to learn. So I did the basic course, and then I came back to Nigeria and I started experimenting. One thing led to another. I knew fondant, buttercream, and all them things were not for me. I don't enjoy it one bit. I don't enjoy it, but desserts, give me the recipe. I'm willing to try out anything, even though it would turn out as rubbish. I would still give it a shot. But over the years,
you refined it, and
I
must say your style is very posh. It's very clean, yes, Pedro, very classy. I mean, I've been to places that you've actually, your company has actually been the one doing the desserts, and I just step and I'm like, which one is this one again? So I must give it to you, Pedro. Your desserts are beautiful.
From you.
Yes, my dear.
That's a huge compliment. Thank you.
So, I mean, I will throw this question to you for me. Where did you train?
I always tell people that I don't think I've done more than a week.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So, of course, like I said, I started with cupcakes. I did go for formal training on baking and decorating cupcakes. So basically what I do is I just identify, okay, this is a skill that I want to learn. And then I identify someone that I feel that, can teach me that skill, and then I contact them, or if there's a general course I'm interested in, but it never really has been more than 1 week. So I go for small courses, if it's flowers, if it's fondant,
Right.
if it's buttercream. So yeah,
Right.
that's where.
And I was just, telling you that you're a master of your art. Your work is very neat,
Thank
very
you.
classy as well. I mean, so I, on the other hand, I always have to sit in a class for long hours. I'm not one of those people who is self-taught. So
Yeah.
everything I've learned, I want to see how the teacher is doing their hand.
Oh yes,
If
yes.
they've used it, and I want to buy every single thing the teacher used.
Use,
So
yes.
if their palette is white, I want to buy the white
Exactly.
palette. Maybe that white palette will help me, So I think that's really commendable. We were really talking a lot before we started this filming, and one of the things that we were both all talking about was the challenges.
Yeah.
Bet you. The challenges of running a bakery in Nigeria, a bakery business, because it's not just
Yeah,
about baking.
it's
It's
a
a
business
business,
of
and it
the
has to be
bakery.
treated that way.
Yeah.
I mean, so Peju, can you tell us some of the challenges? Yeah.
I tell you too, there are a gazillion and one of
Right.
them. But let's start with staffing. Staffing probably is the hardest thing. Because look, the guys out here have learned to do things in a certain way. You have a standard of doing things, or you have your ways of doing things. There's a clash of how-tos, if I may put it that way. For example, you have your SOPs written out for work, but because where it's learned from, or where she
Can you
has
tell us
learned
what
from,
SOP is for the sake of those who don't
Standard
know?
operating procedure.
Standard operating procedure.
So you have, for consistency purposes,
Right.
there's a certain way you will do one thing
Right.
to get it the same way all the time.
Right.
In terms of measuring first, baking at the right temperature, using the same kind of materials to work all the time, checking the labels. If you're changing, for example, if I don't find a particular brand that I need,
Right.
I'm going to check the labels. For example, I'm using a certain amount of a type of whipping cream. I need to have at least 35% fat in my whipping cream. Now, I might find something cheaper. If it doesn't have 35% fat, there's a likelihood that it would not give me exact
Right.
results I want.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
you see, because I am that fussy about what I want to do, there's certain stuff I have who don't understand. They think Madam has OCD.
Look at
It's
that.
not OCD. It's me wanting consistent results every time. Then there's people's attitude. Because you've learned in such a horrible way. I'm sorry, but it's a horrible way. I find that now I'm more open to hiring green-guild people who know nothing at all. Because it's harder to teach someone who has
teachable.
learned something a
That's
certain
true.
way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd rather teach you when you don't know anything. So
Right.
you're learning to do things properly and the way
The
I would
foundation
like
is
things
right.
to be done. So staffing is a problem. Staff turnover, oh my gosh. You find yourself going through 10, 15 people in a year doing the same thing simply because people are just not loyal anymore.
Right.
They don't want to work, but they want all the money. I've interviewed someone before who said he wanted 500,000 a month.
Wow.
I said, Uncle Bros, I am not your employer.
OMG.
I had to tell him, I'm not your candidate. Maybe you can go to the multinationals. But what did he know? I watched him walk through the CCTV. So I have this thing I do. If you come to me for work, I give you the materials you need. I tell you to write a list. I give you what you need. And I'm watching you from my office. I want to know how you work. Small things, you call them small, but I want to see if you've washed your hands before you started work. 99% of them failing.
Wow.
Yes. So for me, staffing, people being able to follow your procedure, sharing your vision with people who will understand what
Your
you're on
vision,
about,
okay.
that is a problem.
Right.
So we found that we've done the work to an extent, you've learned, and that's why I say, Ma, my grandmother's auntie's dog died. We have to go for the funeral.
So they do that with you too?
And they have gone
Oh,
from
gosh.
there. I'm like, all the time and energy and money you've invested in training staff.
Look at that.
Finito. Second problem, electricity. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I share my profits with PHCN. Sure, that's what they're called now. I share profits with them. They determine what I take home at the end
Look
of
at
the
that.
month. So that makes it really
Difficult.
hard to plan.
Right.
Because you can't plan. You're there, I mean, in a month you're spending almost $1 million naira on diesel.
Look at that.
Sometimes it's more because you have to store things properly.
Right.
When I see people keep whipping cream at room temperature, I said, this same whipping cream that we use, There's certain things that shouldn't be caught doing. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, Fumi, you were saying, you were asking, or we were talking about how, and this is also a problem, how customers, for the sake of social media, there's just so many pictures out there, and they kind of want to bottle you into doing what they want. Yes. So, I mean, how do you manage that when people bring images to you and say, oh, I want you to do this exact cake the way it looks? Yes. I mean, that must be very frustrating for you.
And you know, when you asked the question, that was topmost on my mind, because of course staffing, I believe, is an issue. It's a general problem, even if it's, you know, in different ways. Hers could be turnover, mine could be just general culture. But one of the challenges I would say is the not being able to express my creativity, because then again it's a business. I mean, you have to give your customer what they want. Right. So how I handle that is I tell them that yes, we will do this, but we will put our own twist into it. So it might not be, and I always say this is a mantra, and my staff, we repeat it. It's not going to be exactly like this.
It can't
because you know, we don't all use the same tools. We don't all use the same techniques.
And we don't have the same style.
We don't have the same style. Yes. We don't have the same ingredients. Yes. For instance, your blue, the color of your, the brand of your blue color might be different from my brand. Yes. So it's not going to come out looking onion pink or royal blue or whatever it is that you want.
Gosh, I want funny color. So
that is, I mean, that is one thing that we let our customers know. Yes, we know, the picture is supposed to give you an idea, give us an idea of what you want, but we also want to be able to put our twist into it. And we also want to be able to do our original designs, you know, express. Exactly. We're all, you know, creative people, express ourselves.
Exactly. You know, we at Dainty Affairs, we run more of an online store. So like 99% of our customers don't actually see us. So they go online to book, or they contact us.
Lucky.
I know, right?
You are so lucky.
We had to build our resources to actually do that. So we invested a lot on our presence online. Our website is tailored to that. We got an e-commerce website, and our pictures are taken a certain way, they are edited a certain way, they are branded a certain way, so that wherever people see, they know we are serious. So I think that actually allowed people to find us easily. And then we're also careful when we're putting or describing words or products on our website. We're very careful to use the right words, so that when it has to do with SEO, social, what's it called again? Yes, we could be found. SEO is
search engine optimization.
That word just came off my head. Search engine optimization. So when we wanted to use, probably we put this cookie on the website. I would kind of use the word sugar cookies in Lagos.
Yes,
you
so
know,
that you can be
and we use that in the description so that people can easily find us, and that really worked. It helped us as well. So I think when people already go to our website or our images on social media, they already have a sense of professionalism. So they call us and they're like, oh, these people know what they're doing already. And they literally just leave us to do. So a lot of people call us and say, oh, this is the style I want. Just go ahead and be creative. So I think our challenges really are based on how we have structured ourselves.
Perception.
Perception, yes. But, you know, for us, we do have a couple of clients that's, in fact, it's the ones that tell us you must copy exactly. Those are the ones we have issues with. For some reason, the cake doesn't even come out as I would have loved. Or someone wants one cake.
Or you could have done it better.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, so you can see we're having a good time here. It's just friends talking about what they love to do. This is such an amazing atmosphere. The energy here, I love being in spaces like this. Okay, so I mean, let's talk about our goals.
Oh gosh,
I know, right? When is that goal topic? Everybody is like, oh my goodness, must I say it? I mean, can you share this one?
Goal for the year.
Yes.
I've run away from this for so long.
Right.
Like, I don't want to do it, but it needs to get done.
Yes,
I get a lot of requests for it, And I think it's the next level, so I
Right.
might as well face my journey now. To create a lot more online classes for people who are not able to attend the physical
ones,
classes.
right.
It made I always had it at the back of my mind that it wasn't quite the same until I spent some God knows how much buying online classes. I'm like, it's not so bad. So over time now, I think I've come to a place of acceptance.
Yes.
It's time to.
And your
roll
work
out.
is so nice. I think in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria is too small for you. It's time for you, Peju, to take your
Global,
brand.
global.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Wait
support.
for it, I'm coming. Wait for it.
I support. I mean, so can you share with us some of the things you want to do that would help you? I mean, put that in
Lolly,
place. Yes.
You know this is putting me on the spot, right?
Yes, I want to. That's what this is about.
Oh, jeez. Now I'm shaking in my boots. But I think it's a good place to
Right.
start. I would like to create, because I have a lot of people asking me about macarons.
Yes.
They want to learn about macarons.
Peju
but
makes
yes.
amazing macarons.
Macarons. Yes, we do. We do.
Yes.
And so many people have asked about macarons. So I said, okay, you know what? This year, before the end of the first quarter, we'll have 2 courses launched. First one macaron, second one mousse cakes.
Amazing.
I have
Amazing.
quite a number of people
Amazing.
asking about that.
it.
So let's start.
I'm actually looking forward to that. I mean, for as a professional myself, we do a lot of treats as well. And
Yeah.
macarons, I mean, I've not really had that formal training. I've probably gone on YouTube, watched,
It's not the
and it
same.
is such a diva.
That's the
one day
perfect
you
way
get
to describe
it,
it.
tomorrow you don't
Yes.
get it.
Well, we
It-
cracked the
I
code.
But
know,
trust
right?
me, once you take her class,
Yes.
then you
Crack.
would have
I can
cracked
imagine
that
because
code.
there's so much consistency with yours, which is what I like. Because I remember there was a time we had this order and we don't like to stress ourselves. We
I
like to
remember.
do what we like
And
or
then
what we know how
outsource.
to do. Yes, and then we outsource.
Yes.
Especially for things like macarons, molding, we just
Yes.
outsource. So we
Yes.
just focus on
What
the
you
things
know how
we're
to
good
do.
at.
Strengths.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you, sent them to us, they were all so perfect. They had ganache inside.
Yes.
It was beautiful. So I'm looking forward to that class.
Yes. Before the end of first quarter.
Beautiful.
Hold me to it.
Beautiful. I'm really looking forward to that. How about you, Fumi?
Topmost, I would say, has to do with brand,
Right.
positioning my brand. And one of the ways that I want to do that is to, stay true to what I like to do. That's
Right.
bring out more of our original designs.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So that is
Amazing.
that is one of the goals.
Amazing. Beautiful.
of
For
this year.
us at Dainty Affairs, we are big online.
Yeah.
We run an online
You're probably
bakery.
the biggest online in Nigeria at the
Nigeria.
moment.
Yes.
Well, that's
I think
fantastic
so.
to hear.
Yeah, because not a lot of people.
How many
are
people see
online.
someone like me? I'm running away from doing online, but you,
Yes.
yeah.
I think it's time for not just you guys, everybody
Yeah.
who runs a cake business
Yeah.
or any type of business. To be honest, this is a
It's
time
next
to
level.
be. It's a time to be online. You think you're just creating things for yourself. You're creating things for the world now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for us, one of our goals this year is to be a lot more visible.
More visible than you already are.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
wow.
yes. I've run a business for the past 13 years now, and because I'm more of an introvert, and that is the truth, whether you like it or not. Yes, I'm a very quiet person. When I'm not in my space creating, I'm probably at home with the children, with my husband. I am a very shy person. And for the most part, when you see a lot of our work outside, it's me kind of fighting and no, this thing has to come out. This is much more than me. So I think, I turned 40 last year. I don't know what I'm hiding anymore. It's just
Exactly.
time, to just showcase
Yeah.
and brand our business the way it should be,
done,
so
yeah.
that people, even outside Nigeria, can come and take our content and take it over there.
Yes.
Yes.
So, this year we plan to do a lot of more things that are people-centered, do a lot of seminars for bakers. I'm big on structure, bakery structure as well. I plan to do a lot of talking, speaking,
That's
a lot of master classes. Yes,
We're looking forward
you know,
to that.
and then because we do a lot of cakes that go to retail stores now, and it's now kind of standardized. It's not all the time that I'm needed in the workspace. So I mean, that is my goal, to kind of figure out how and strategically sit down and put these plans in place. So I hope everybody listening
Who's holding
to
you
us.
accountable to that?
I mean, we're here today. Can you be my?
So we will hold you accountable.
Look at that.
Remember, we'll just pull out
this video and show
I'll
it
remind
to you.
What have you done?
Exactly.
I know that's a fantastic one. So I mean, is there anything you want to say to people who, I mean, are thinking of giving up in this cake journey, or people who want to start and don't know where to start? Is there anything you would like to say?
You go first.
Okay, let me start with you. Your question is twofold. Those
Right.
starting
Yes.
and those that want to give up.
Yes.
You know, no matter what level you're on. For people that are starting, I would say, don't be in a hurry. Before you start putting content out there, don't be in a hurry. Take time out to develop yourself.
Right.
Yes.
And I said to someone recently, work on the finishing of your cake before you worry about the other things that goes on it. So develop yourself. Take time out, train. If it's online courses that work for you, do it. If it's like me, like I said, I like to try to learn from people that I think that I want to model their work.
Yeah.
Reach out to those people. Go for an internship. Just develop yourself before you start. And for those that want to give up, you need an inner circle. You need people that would encourage you, because doing business in Nigeria,
Your
is-
cake buddies.
Yes, your cake buddies. It could be cake buddies. It could be a family member. It could be someone that just encourages you. So anytime you want to give up, don't internalize. Speak out.
Have someone you can pour
Yeah,
out your
I like
someone
that.
Someone who
Don't
will
internalize.
Yes,
understand.
exactly.
Understand
and
the
just stick with it.
struggles.
Stay on the journey. It's not easy. I mean, I'm sure all of us can testify that it's not easy at all. There are times that we just want to just give up and just go home and sit. But by the time you talk
Can
to
say that
someone,
again.
2018, 2019.
by the time you talk to someone, of course, talk to God as
gosh,
well.
yes.
Pray about everything.
everything.
God is interested in every single
The
part of our
minutest
lives.
details.
So pray about it, and then
Do you remember
you'll be fine.
2018, 2019? I kept saying, you know what? I want to be a kept woman. Where in the morning I just wake up by 9 o'clock. I saunter out of bed. Oh, Chef Akpan, please make me breakfast. And then I carry my dainty cup of tea. When I'm done, I go to the gym.
Look at that.
School runs. Wake up. My reality is very far from that. But I think if I were to be a kept woman, I would be bored stiff.
You can say that again.
I would be so bored. So for me, if you're about to give up, don't.
You remember why you started?
Yeah.
What got you doing it in the first place?
Yes.
I know that passion doesn't pay the bills and all of, we hear all of that, being there, done that. Passion doesn't always pay the bills, but if it's something you genuinely love, you would always go back to the starting
Right.
point. When I was on the high, how was I doing it? What gave me joy then? What paid the bills then? When it's low, retrace your steps.
Right.
Something is
wrong.
amiss
Yes.
in the step.
Right.
You know, something is not right somewhere. Retrace your steps and find out
Exactly.
where you were wrong.
Exactly.
So I think she answered
Identify
one part.
identify what
What the problem is. If you know the problem, at least you've sort of found half solution to
Yeah.
it. Implementing what you think the problem, or genuinely now finding a solution to it, is what sets everything apart from you. So yes, taking time out to retrace your step. Where did I go wrong? When did I lose interest? When did I start feeling this way? Or better still, ginger yourself. Take a class. Do something you love. Take a 1 week break. Take a 2 week break. Not everyone can afford that, or we say we cannot afford it. But simply laying on your bed with a book, not having to think about what, this is what works for me. Not having to think about, when I have money, I go somewhere. If I don't have money, I stay on my bed in my house. And I put a note, please don't disturb me. I'm on mental break.
Yeah.
I can't process it, but so yeah, those are the things that work.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would say for those who are starting out, I can say that where we are now in history is like the best time to start anything.
Yes.
Yes, the internet has made running a business
When
very,
we started,
very
was it
easy.
internet?
No, it wasn't.
There was no internet.
It was
yeah?
words of mouth. It's still
There
words
was,
of
but
mouth.
it wasn't.
It wasn't
as
like
it is
so far,
now.
you had to go
Yes.
to cyber cafe there to get
Exactly.
stuff done.
Yes.
Exactly.
So I would say if you're starting out in this line of cake business, beyond getting the right training, the formal training to actually know how to bake a cake, cookies, bread, or whatnot, get the business training.
Yes.
Get the business training. I know cake business is not a word that was popular up until now because a lot of people thought about cake business, or you tell someone you're baking cake and they think, oh, this lady was bored and she started baking cake.
Cake lady.
Forget that. Things have really changed. If you know what you're doing, it is a very lucrative business. And if you can plan your execution, plan things properly, it is very lucrative. I can tell you that. So I would say to you, dot your I's, cross your T's. A lot of people start from their home baking and decorating. That's absolutely fine. But give yourself a target. How long do you want to operate like this? Do you want to operate as an online business? Do you want to turn your working from home into a retail business where you make that change from working in your home space to a physical store? I would say whatever it is, you need to start writing things down. Plan. What is your name? What is your branding like? When we were talking about branding is just not your name and your logo.
So much
It is
more.
much more than that. It is your colors. It is your culture. What is your vision? What are your mission? Or what
are you known for? What do you want to be known for?
What is your mission? What's your vision? What are your core values? These things will help you kind of streamline what you want to do. And then which area do you want to be good at?
Don't be a jack of all trades.
Do you want to do everything? For example, I started as I think I learned everything because I learned really young. I was 15 years old at the time when I would go for these courses, and I was interning at a bakery that did everything. So I didn't really have the chance to choose, I just want to focus on cakes or I want to focus on cupcakes. She taught us everything. So over the years, going into university, that period of NYSC and actually going into my first paid job, and then coming out and starting my business, I think I'd had enough time to think, this is what I wanted to do. So a lot of people will start out as cupcake makers, and then over the years they find out that they become a master of making cupcakes. I want to try something else, you know, and then you end up trying every other thing, and then you come back and be like, okay, I've tried everything, so what do I really like?
Full circle.
Yes. What am I interested in, and what would I like to focus on? You know, so I think you should have that in mind. And what else? For those who are tired or a bit discouraged or demotivated, I would say to you, when I'm in that mood, I have some people that I can call and that encourage me, and I just take a break. Break helps a lot. It helps a lot. I take a break. The world will wait for you, and that's the truth. The world will wait. You know, sometimes we need to focus on ourselves and build ourselves and heal ourselves as leaders so that we can lead others aright.
You can't give what you don't have.
No, you can't.
And you know, when I found peace with this whole thing of the heavens will not fall if you decide you won't go to work one day. You can't pour from an empty vessel. It's absolutely impossible. So you yourself have to be in the right frame of mind. And don't feel like, you know, the world is going to end. You know, if I take one day break, what's going to happen to the business? The business will be there.
And especially because our business is so physically demanding.
It's so demanding.
So you really need to, that could also be one of the things that could make people demotivated because you're focusing so much on the physical, you're tired.
Mentally and physically.
So mentally and drained, actually.
So
that time off is very important.
I'll suggest something as well. I've done this for maybe the past 4 years and it's helped me. I take Mondays off work because I work every day. Like if we have events all week, I work Saturday, Sunday. And Christian Sabbath, it's the excuse started about doing a Sabbath day, but it's actually moved beyond the Sabbath for me now. I find that on one day I can just stay in bed, sleep till 11 a.m. Maybe I'll wake up because I'm hungry, but my body is always so tired because you know you're fit the whole time. Give yourself time to heal. Your body is not a machine. If you don't take care of it, it won't take care of you. So that works for me. Taking a break every week, it works.
Amazing. So guys, thank you so much for coming here today and sharing this space with me. I mean, we should do this a lot more often.
I agree, we should.
All
I've had
right.
such an amazing time.
There you go, guys, my cake buddies. So thank you so much for joining us this lovely day, and I hope to do much more of this when I bring a lot of professionals in the industry, in the Nigerian industry, and maybe outside the country too. But for now, we start like this. So see you again on Thinking All the Way. Bye.